Looking back at the long history of NASCAR's All-Star Race, the 2020 edition at Bristol Motor Speedway, without question, is the weirdest of all time. Now, if you're not convinced, perhaps I will do so by the end of this video. For the first time since the 1980s, the All-Star Race would take place at a track other than Charlotte. This race also took place during the COVID-19 pandemic, making history in the process.
Bristol Motor Speedway hosted the largest gathering of fans at a sporting event in America since the COVID-19 pandemic started. 30,000 people attended NASCAR's All-Star Race, and they had a list of rules that they had to follow.
NASCAR required fans to wear masks, stay distant, and limited the race to a quarter capacity of fans. David Adcock is a NASCAR diehard, not a huge fan of the mask.
I guess they have to do it, I guess, because of a lot of pressure from a lot of other people. I don't feel the need.
While some fans had pushback against the COVID-19 guidelines the track set, for the most part, everyone followed the rules. And oh my gosh, Jarian, what in the hell were you doing with your hair? Marty Smith's just doing an ESPN interview in his suit shorts and Jordans. It's safe to say this race already felt super weird, and we hadn't even ran a single lap yet. It seemed like the only normal thing about to take place was the on-track. Oh my gosh, what did they do with the number placement? If you're a fan who started watching in the past couple of years, if you've ever wondered where the origins of NASCAR's current number placement came from, look no further. For the most part, fans have now accepted the current number placement, but when this one came out in 2020, oh my gosh. Not only does it look terrible on the Gen 6, but they had them near the rear wheels instead of the front. Okay, we went over a lot of different stuff, 30,000 people in attendance, and finally, after a long day of waiting in the hot sun wearing a mask, the green flag is out. Not even 3 laps into the first open race, and they are 4 wide on the front stretch. They continued to bump and run each other, and oh man, from the early looks of it, this is going to be a spectacular open. Amongst the top 5, you had Michael McDowell, Bubba Wallace, and William Byron battling. Oh my gosh, those cars are ugly. Bubba gives McDowell the bump and run entering turn 1. McDowell responds by completely right hooking him entering turn 3.
Oh, Bubba's jumped. Mixed reaction from the fans. Some are stunned, some cheering. Oh my gosh. Wow. He was running third. So Bubba knocked him out of the way, and then McDowell just wrecked him on purpose. Yeah. Wow. McDowell just took him out.
I don't even need to see a replay. Look at that. Yeah, wow. One of the people say one of the nicest guys in the garage. Can't wait for the God-fearing text that he's going to send me about preaching and praise and respect. What a joke he is.
This race took place less than a month after the Bubba Wallace Talladega news fiasco, explaining why there was a mixed reaction. Once the open races are finished, it is time for the main event, and oh my gosh, what is this? Is that a stock car with a freaking underglow? Absolutely. During burnouts on Broadway in 2019, they decided to install them, and it looked so cool looking they wanted to add it to the All-Star Race. Anyways, we're about to go green, and DW is back to give the old boogity boogity boogity.
Boogity boogity boogity! Let's go racing for $1 million, boys!
All right, Darrell, they're in turn 3. And here they come to you.
Boogity boogity boogity! Let's go racing for $1 million, boys! One more time!
That's just twice as
even
nice.
better the second time, DW.
That might be a first, boys.
Even Darrell Waltrip jumped the gun on his signature line. Yeah, this is truly turning into the weirdest race ever. The race consisted of 140 laps, 55 laps for stage 1, 35 for stage 2, 35 for stage 3, and for stage 4, 15. Ryan Blaney went on to win the first stage no problem, and just when you thought we were done with all of the new stuff, think again. A new choose rule was used for restarts during the race where drivers could choose whether they wanted to be on the inside or outside lane. Stage 2 basically came and went, not a whole lot happened besides this bump and run between Kyle Busch and Denny Hamlin. Chase Elliott dominated and went on to win Stage 2. Not a whole lot of lead changes have taken place, and it is starting to get extremely spread out. Once we get to Stage 3, the field starts to get a little more aggressive.
Man, that was a mistake to stay out there when everybody else came down pit road. Oh, Keselowski gets really loose, trying to go underneath Blaney, opens up the door for the 9 of Chase Elliott.
Oh, Chase is going to get into Keselowski. Three wide.
Top of three, top of three, top of three, top of three, 2 wide.
Boy, I give Harvick a lot of credit there. He
Yes.
pedaled it, knowing that it's still almost 50 laps to go.
He did not push the issue, kept the fenders on that race car. That was going to be a wreck.
Chase Elliott's Hendrick Motorsports number 9 team was leaps and bounds better than the rest of the field that evening. Once he gets settled down from the earlier action, he's able to work his way through the field and win stage 3. And once we get to the 4th and final stage, it's really a no contest. Despite a valiant effort from Kyle Busch being able to close the gap, Chase Elliott pretty much dominated the entire 15-lap segment, going on to score his first ever victory in the All-Star race.
You know Kyle Busch is going to pull everything out of it he possibly can. Maybe bobbled a little bit there off of 2.
He cut it down by 1/10, but not enough.
$1 million, boys. Baby!
Chase Elliott gets his first
Yes, sir. Super proud of you guys.
first All-Star win in his 5th start and becomes the 25th different driver to win NASCAR's All-Star race. And the Elliots become the 2nd father-son combination to win the All-Star race.
Chase Elliott went on to win the 2020 Cup Series championship that November. But as for the race itself, there wasn't anything spectacular. 2 of the 5 cautions were for wrecks, and there were only 6 lead changes amongst 4 drivers. If this race took place during a normal NASCAR season, this would certainly be forgettable, but because it took place during the 2020 pandemic, it's looked back on in a very weird way, and it's totally understandable, especially if you were there. Having personally gone to this race, now that I look back on it in the year 2023, it feels like one giant fever dream. For the sporting attendance records set during the pandemic, the new choose rule, the ugly number placement on the Gen 6 cars, the underglow, and in some way the race showcased the short track product we have today with the next gens. In some ways, this race was showcasing what NASCAR was going to look like in the near future. And oh my gosh, I almost forgot, during the race they ran out of freaking water.
All right, we've been sitting up here a few minutes. I'm extremely thirsty. Bristol already did me dirty by running out of water, so we're gonna bounce.
Fast forward to 2023, and the All-Star race has a permanent home, returning to the historic North Wilkesboro Speedway. Bristol didn't host another All-Star race after 2020, as it was raced at Texas Motor Speedway for the next 2 seasons. From all the wacky stuff that was added to this one particular race, and sort of looking into the future in some ways, this is without question the weirdest All-Star race in NASCAR history. And once again, that'll do it for another video. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is Black Flags Matter. Catch you next time.